Okay, Nikolai.
Hang
If
on,
you
hang on.
if you speak Korean fluently, I'll call you Nuna.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Good. Deal.
Okay. Deal.
My Korean husband.
Hi
Hey guys, I'm Hugh.
I'm Han.
This is Ask
Korean
Korean Guys.
Okay. So we got a questions from Maria, Anna, Mario Dotria.
Trotrier.
So she asked this question about Korean hierarchy system in Australia.
Is it difficult when you see there's no hierarchy system in Australia when you came to Australia?
Yeah, it was very strange to me actually, because I grew up in such a strict family and I always have to be like polite to a people who's older than me, or who's a stranger to me. I have to be polite to them.
that's insane.
But when I came to Australia, people were polite, but like there was something difference between Korean like a speaking style and Australian speaking style. Of course, because it's different language, but the way that people talk. Because for example, the little boy was talking to his dad. Hey, I want that one, and I can't like imagine I will call my grandfather hey. and that was very casual, like speaking like a style, and that was very like difficult to me to like get used to. If you translate hey into Korean, it become yeah. It's very like casual. It's like kind of very rude.
Yeah.
You can call your friend like that if you are very friendly, very close, or you call someone who knows very well but younger than you. You can call only 2 times, or your brother, your siblings, you can just call yeah. But the little boy was calling his grandfather hey, and I can't imagine I'll like call my grandfather hey in Korean. And Australian culture, they are more like likely friend rather than like I'm a grandfather and you're a grandson and you
So
should
you should respect me.
respect me. And that was very different, but and also difficult to me because it's not my culture, but I learned how to deal with that, and I nowadays I can take it easily. How about you?
I think I have similar experience like that. Like I saw like high school student call like nearly old gentleman say, "Hey, what's up, man, bro? Cheers, mate." Like, wow, how dare you? How can you say like that? But now I just say, "Hey, bro, what's up? How's it going?" I just say like that.
Yeah.
So I got used to this one, so I feel more comfortable with this. But of course, when I see Korean people, I can't do that. I can't, because I know it's not good. And when younger people doing something like that to me, like it's okay if it's not Korean, but if they are, Koreans, I just, wanna have some respect.
It's not even that much age difference. In Korea, maybe like 2 years or 3 years younger than me. A little, they're like still 동생 to me, and they never like call me casually. They always call me 형, and
형.
they use 존댓말 to me.
Yeah.
And like for example, my best friend in Australia is who is Alex. He names me in like bad way. Hey you, something, and he's like 4 years younger than me, and I don't think it's very offensive to me nowadays because he's Australian and I'm in Australia, and I'm married to Australian. I'm like half Australian culture and half Korean culture, and I have to accept Australian culture. So nowadays it's fine. Like he calls me you Han, so, and I was like, yeah, what? So what? And like I can just be like easy with that. But if I go to Korea, when I come to Korea and like very close 동생 call me like or
Oh.
or yeah, or something, and I would punch him, and I was like,
Yeah.
yeah. So like it depends on the situation nowadays. We can like accept or not. It depends on the person, and depends on the situation,
I think
and
so.
yeah. So sometimes I prefer just speak English, even though in Korean groups, because normally in Sydney, I when I meet some like a group, a bunch of Korean people, normally I'm the youngest, so I prefer to speak English because so I don't have to use 존댓말, because way I speak English is very casual. I speak to them in English, so I don't have to be like, oh 형 안녕하세요. 형 식사하셨어요? I don't have to do that. Hey, what's up, bro? Have you had a lunch? I feel it's very like free, you know, and more friendly.
So I do prefer speaking English sometimes to Korean people because same reason I don't nearly. It doesn't mean I need to. I mean I don't respect these people. I just prefer to talk someone in English sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially sometimes with strangers. I mean, if I don't know them well, I prefer to speak English. It doesn't mean my English is better than my Korean. I just feel
Feel free.
free.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know these people. So what about when we met first time?
Well, actually, when I first met Hugh, he was speaking very politely, and also I'm still I when I talk to him, I use polite way to speak, which is called 존댓말. I still use 존댓말 to him, but once we become closer, I asked him to like, oh, why don't you just be like just be casual to me,
Casual, yeah.
casual to me, and he was a bit like, oh, well, okay, and then he become casual because I don't. Yeah, this is the one thing also you never get this kind of moment entire your whole life, because Korean people, when they meet together and they know each other, who's older, who's younger, and they use formal language, formal way to speak, and there's a certain point they get closer than before, so they try to be more casual, like you started to use 반말. So we normally say 형 말 놓으세요. So like nota is just like drop it. So like a drop your politeness. So 형 말 놓으세요. When I ask him to do, he is like, well, I want to do, but it's a bit awkward right now, because he just used the formal language just a second before. So it's very awkward thing to do in Korean. That's the awkward moment, the most awkward moment when Korean people become closer. So like, for example, I asked him, hey, 형 말 놓으세요, and he was like, 그럴까? And it was like very awkward. Even I'm saying about past, I feel awkward, but that's how we get closer in Korean. So I think most of Korean people have this kind of moment.
So what about now?
Well, actually, I talk to him still formally, but a bit more like a casual way. And also Hugh talking to me very casually, like he treats me as like a little brother. Yeah, and that's what I wanted, and then
that's what I want too.
So like we're very like close now because of that awkward moment. We've been through that awkward moment.
Through everything.
Yeah, so we talk about some inappropriate things together.
Yes.
But we couldn't. If we like speak formally, we can't talk about inappropriate things.
Awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, before we become we started use 반말. Hugh used the 반말 to me. I could talk about inappropriate things to Nicola because it was in English. I didn't have to be like 존댓말. I didn't have to think about 존댓말 things.
Yeah.
So I always talk about inappropriate things to Nicola, and then and I keep doing that.
Yeah.
And she's like doing like this behind the camera.
Yeah, which means we are very close.
Yeah.
We have a really good relationship together. So if you guys also have a similar hierarchy system in your country, just leave a comment here. Just let's talk about this.
And if you have any like awkward moment to be closer with your new friend, just leave the comments on the comment section so we also can know about other cultures.
Yes. And thank you for watching this video.
And don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel.
And go to mykoreanhusband.com and check the daily comics. And don't forget to check the
all the social
and
medias.
all the social media. And see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye. Good job, guys.
Done?
Done.
Wow.